What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Klusk here, Klusk Customs, back with another video on the F150 Work Truck project. Hope everybody's having a good day. So I've been working on this thing for a while now, and a couple weeks anyways. And this bracket here from the core support was completely shot. That's actually the bottom of the core support there. And this here, the bracket, the mount that was actually on the frame was completely blown out in here. So what I did is I got some nice bushings, the same bushings that were in the truck that have already all been done, all the way down through the bed and everything. But so what I did is I went to Fastenal and I got some 1.5-inch washers, and I welded them on there. I'm not claiming anybody to be a professional welder. In fact, I haven't welded. I stick welded probably about 10-15 years ago a few times in one of my buddy's garages, but besides that, I've never welded. So I was awfully rusty on the whole process, so forgive me. I only made a few little practice runs before I jumped right in head first. I didn't clean them up or anything, but you know, you get the idea. I was just trying to see what it is. In fact, this is a very inexpensive Century, Lincoln, whatever, flux core welder, gasless. Thing's tiny. It's about, I don't know, 18 inches long by 6 inches wide, 7 inches wide. Very simple system. You have your ground, your gun, that's the wire feed and the arc, or your power, whatever, and then you have a wire feed speed on the bottom and your voltage on the top, I guess. I didn't even read the instructions on the thing, but it's a little tricky to weld with, but it does work. So yeah, for under, you know, $250, you know what I mean, you can start welding and you know, do things yourself. I priced out somebody putting a new core support in this truck for me. It was like, I don't know, $800 or $1,200, something like that. But so what I did is I just made a little bench top table, you know, some basics, clamps and lights and flashlights, and you know, you're gonna want your drills and drill bits and grinder. You gotta have a grinder, you know, with a flat disc and excuse me, a grinding wheel, some cut-off wheels. This one just goes into my drill, but I have cut-off wheels for my grinder too, little ones. You know, some magnets, which I've even yet to use, but I have some metal hole saws, which I tried to fab up a little bracket that I was going to put on the mount by the frame. What did I do with it? It's right here somewhere. Here it is. Because the 1.25-inch hole in the washers I got was actually a little bit bigger. It's like 3/8 instead of a 1/4 inch, I believe, from my measurements anyways. So I thought that this 1.25-inch hole saw, whole bit, whatever, would work, but it's actually coming out almost exactly the same as the washer size. So the washer was a little bit thicker, metal, and the bracket is kind of U-shaped, you know, anyways, so I just decided to go with that. But yeah, so I've never done this before, like I said again, but here is where I'm at. Got everything cut out, cleaned up. What I did too to strengthen this is 3/16 sheet metal, I believe, is what I got. But so I put the bushing in there, and then there's a washer that goes in between the bushing and the bottom of that plate there, and then there's two that go on top. One's actually cut off, so one side of it's flat. And so I put the bushing in there, and I put this plate right to the top of the bushing, nice and tight. Because like that washer is probably an 1/8 inch, so that's going to give me my stability. And then I welded a plate in the back of that bracket I made just to strengthen it all up. I welded it from the back side, so it was nice, and I put it in maybe an 1/8 inch into the metal and welded it all the way around a U. You can kind of see it goes down, over, and up in the back there. Sorry. But yeah, I welded it from the back side anyways, and like I said, I put it in maybe an 1/8 inch, so I got a nice thick bead, which definitely strengthened it all up a lot. This thing was completely blown out. Same thing with the shocks, no body mount, so that probably explains why I had quite the hairy ride home. The guy I got the truck from didn't mention any of that to me, and like an idiot, I put faith in humanity like I always do, and I took the guy for his word, and paid him his asking price for the truck, which, you know, and I do understand there's been a lot of work done to it, and you know, I understand, you know, the money he's invested, but I would have given him the money either way. It would have been nice for him not to lie to me about some things. There's no way he didn't know that the shocks were literally snapped right off, but that's my bad. But anyways, I'm gonna tack this all up, and I'll be back at you guys in a minute here.